Hey Michael, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your address position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we'll get you here in your address position, let's take a look at your setup. Your spine is straight. It's on a slight tilt. Your legs come down into an unlocked position. Your arms do hang down in very tight to you, and then your forearms sort of work away, and then the club works out to the ball. So, I mean, if I were going to work on your golf game, the first thing we got to do here from this vantage point is we have to change your posture, your balance, and your distance away from the ball. And in doing so, what we're going to do here is we're going to work your tail out and up, push your sternum out, up, and forward. And what that's going to do, it's going to put your spine on a considerably much larger angle. From there, we can keep your legs unlocked exactly as they are, but then we can let your arms hang down and slightly out in front of you off that tilted spine and let the golf club work out to the ball. But what that's going to do, it's going to position you obviously further away from the ball. So right now, if we look at red, we look how close you are versus the yellow lines, you're going to be considerably further away from the ball, which will allow you a lot more athleticism through impact to swing the golf club. Right now, you're just so close and so jammed that, I mean, I just don't know how you're going to get the club head on the ball. So I'm curious to watch your golf swing here and see what you do. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to pull your spine and your head up out of the way. And again, as I was saying, we're gonna obviously get a chance to see that. So, but looking at the red posture position, very tall, arms congested. If we can back you away and increase that spinal tilt and get your hands and arms a little further away, obviously that's ideal. This spinal position right here is critical in a golf swing because obviously that's what we're going to rotate about, and that's what we're going to build our golf swing upon that axis. So let's go ahead and clear this off the screen. Your alignment looks pretty good, so we don't really have to deal with that too much. Let's go right into a split screen comparison with Jordan Spieth here. So hopefully you can see here, based on the setups, that Jordan Spieth, obviously his spine is, see how it's on much more of a tilt there. Hands and arms are definitely further away from his thighs and his legs. Okay. So as we take a look at the golf swing, simply want to draw the golf club back by creating good shoulder rotation, draw the hands and arms back with the club. Want the club coming back on the red line on plane. We want to obviously also early on in the golf swing create some good wrist hinge into play, where we're going to transition the club head from currently being below and in front of our hands, getting that club head above and behind. Very important move in the golf swing. From here now, working the club from red up towards the yellow-blue V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the swing, we want to have the left arm in the club either situated on the yellow line, anywhere in between the yellow-blue V zone, or physically up on blue, as we can see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to create full shoulder rotation. We want to do this about a very stable right leg, and also maintain that posture position we achieved at address. So as we go ahead and watch you draw your golf club back here, you draw your hands back nicely. Shoulders are rotating. Ironically, you're actually diving down, so you're actually getting into a better posture as you're moving back. Hopefully we see some wrist hinge here, where we get that club head working above but behind the hands. Right now the club head's staying way too far out in front of your hands. We see it trying to work back there and trying to work back a little bit more as we keep on going. When we finally set your golf club at the top, we can see that the top of the backswing is not really in the right position with respect to your arm position. Left arm should be up a lot closer to the yellow line. Your shoulder turn looks good, pretty stable right side, and incredibly you have really tilted into the golf ball considering how close you started. So now your spine is in a position right here of about 52 degrees, but it certainly did not start there. So at this point in time we can go back to address and we can see that your spine started in position more of in around the realm of 72, so we're moving from 72 down into whatever we said there, 50 some odd. Okay, so that's a big adjustment there. That's a big diving down into the golf ball. From here, as we create our transition back on the ball, looking at the left side of the screen, we simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left. We want to fire the knees and the hips laterally to the target, and we want to bring the golf club from the blue-yellow V zone back down onto red. And achieving this position here is critical in the golf swing, whereby the club is returned back to plane. And looking at the lead form in the golf club, we have this backwards check mark where the club head right now is remaining above and behind the hands. This is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power, aside from the fact that he's going to hit the ball straight, because the club has returned back to plane. If we watch your transition back into the ball here, we see that you push your hands out in front of you, and ultimately you're pushing the club head also out in front. So if we just go ahead and mark your club head here as you force your hands out in front, what we're going to see here is we're going to see that the club head is being thrown away over the top, and therefore it's going to be attacking the ball from outside to inside. So if we just sort of connect the dots here, we can get a pretty good visual sense as to the descending plane of this club versus what we can see with Jordan Spieth is, again, his club returned back to plane here and simply approaches the golf ball from an on-plane position, which I've already stated is the reason why we hit straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming that the club face squares up by having a good grip. So at this point in time, seeing that the downswing planes are vastly different, what we need to understand is that the path is vastly different now. So we can see with Jordan, the club is inside the ball, expands out to make contact, moves through on a nice natural subtle arc. Your club is stuck outside the ball, dropping down and across to make contact. So see the path at which your golf club is traveling on. So very simply put, if you square the club face up to that path, you would hit the ball solid, but you're going to pull the ball way, way left. If you happen to release the club relative to the same path, not only are you going to pull the ball, but now we're going to hit some form of a pull draw or pull hook. If you happen to leave the club face a little open to the path, then maybe the shot will turn out because the ball will start a little bit right. Ball will have a little bit of left to right spin, and we'll just hit this nice little sort of fade that sort of finds its intended target. If we happen to leave the club face too open, incredibly, we'll start the ball further right, even though we're swinging left. At that point in time, we need to realize the club face was massively open, and we're going to be hitting a block slice. So the end result of the golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face, because the club is attacking the ball from outside, striking the ball, moving to the inside. If we happen to square that club face up, it follows yellow. Over-release the club, it follows the smaller yellow arrows. Leave it wide open, follows blue. Time it properly, follow red. So as we continue to carry through the golf swing, let's see if your right heel comes off the ground. You get up on your right toe. So not too bad there, carrying yourself through to a pretty decent finish. Could use a little bit of refinement, but at least you are getting through to your finishing position there. Overall, I mean, there's some pretty good hand activity. Hands come back, they fire through. Your core works okay. You coil, you uncoil. You got decent enough footwork that allows you to get through to a finish. Again, we can see very clearly that, I mean, you're very, very congested at address. You come back, club gets into a position whereby, you know what, we should be able to hit the ball okay from here. You do dive down into it with your posture. Then as you come back into the ball, let's see if you stay there or if you stand back up. Club's coming from the outside. Yeah, so we are definitely standing up out of the shot, pulling away from the golf ball a lot, and obviously we have to do that. So now as the club swings across, you have to leave that face open if you want to find the intended target. Face does stay open very clearly, and we see the ball headed out in this direction here. So that ball is heading somewhat towards the intended target, and but that is going to have left to right spin, and that ball is going to work to the right, as we can see there, because the face stayed open, imparting left to right spin. And the other issue with that is it's a glancing blow because we're swinging from out to in with an open face. So we're going to lose a lot of power. Anyways, if at any point in time you ever want to work on any of these aspects of your golf game, certainly feel free to touch base. I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. All my contact information is on the screen. Be happy to structure a little program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to give to your guests, feel free to reach out and be happy to discuss my swing analysis program. Anyways, again, I hope you had a great day, and I hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.